not sure I'm very pleased with this, but I don't know what else I can do, to be honest. Oof. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laurence, and you've stumbled upon a new series of mine where I explore different techniques with watercolors in the hopes of creating a huge abstract watercolor. This series will be comprised of many different videos, I don't know how many yet, of my explorations, and I would love for you to join me in them. If you're not subscribed already, please do. You can always leave a like right now too, because I know you're gonna like this video. And if you don't, well, you can still leave a like because you're very, very kind. Alright, so let's start with our exploration. In the last video, if you haven't watched it, by the way, maybe you should go back, watch it, and then come back to this one. We had just finished painting a bigger size painting, and it had given me a couple of ideas I wanted to test out. So that's what we'll do in this video. We're gonna test out some new ideas, and we're gonna paint our first big painting. So I hope you enjoy. See you at the end. An idea that I had this morning was, like, before this very wet layer with the plastic, what if I did like a first layer just to build up the basic composition and maybe already create a little bit of texture, wait for it to dry, and then add like a bunch more paint on top and make it flow, and then put the plastic on top. I'm going to test out this idea in this sketchbook right here, the same one where I did these paintings. So I'm going to separate my painting in a couple of smaller sections and try different compositions. I also thought it would be nice to make some interference white with the titanium buff, so we can try it. Now let's wait for all of this to dry, and then we'll see what we do. These are the results of the test that I did yesterday. And the good thing about these tests too is that I am working on composition as well, because one of the things that scare me the most about doing a huge painting is composition. It's going to be very tricky and it's easy to get it wrong, I feel like. So with these paintings, I'm working on the composition. I think it's something that I need to get better at when doing abstract art. One thing that I like very much is when the center is occupied. Like this one I like less, and this one as well, because I don't like this empty space in the middle. So I think that I'm gonna make sure that most of the center is covered. I like that there's kind of random shapes as well. So I think this one is my favorite as for composition. Well, these two are. This one I think is a bit too simple. I love the drop effect that I created here. So I think it's something that's very cool that I could use maybe at the end of a painting. Now I'm gonna remove the salt, and I think I'm going to try adding another layer on top and then a piece of plastic and let it dry. It's the next day, and I'm pretty sure it's time for us to take off the plastic and see what happened underneath it. It's always so exciting. All right, let's do it. I think that doing a first layer adds a sense of depth that I did not have in this one, for example. Also, it did allow me to try out a composition, and if I did not like it, I kind of had a second chance of fixing it. So this is also something to consider, because if I do a really big painting, I'm going to invest a lot of money in it, because a big paper like this is a bit more expensive. So I kind of want to make sure to get it right on the first try. If I have to try again because I'm not satisfied, then I will. But ideally, I would get it right on the first try. So I think that doing this first layer is a way to do that. This is so nice. Now I want to do a bigger painting. I want to try the new paper that I bought. Listen, I'm not sure what the brand is. I checked. I think it's Hannemuller. I have no idea if I pronounce it right. It is the really rough paper, cold pressed, rough texture. So this is something that I've never tried. So I want to try it today. I bought a really huge paper, so my plan is to cut it in smaller sizes. I want to try my new Daniel Smith paints that I got recently. I have to do a confession as well. I've been seeing the Schminke Horadam super granulation sets on YouTube. I've been seeing them everywhere, and I think that they would be perfect for the types of painting that I'm trying to create right now. So I was looking at them today. I've been thinking about getting them for a while now. Today I decided I would look at them and pick one set that would have colors that would fit with my color palette. Something that is relaxing. So I was thinking about blues and maybe purples, but I think blues. I was looking at the sets, and in these sets, they're quite expensive. These sets contain 5 colors each, and in these sets, there was always like 2 colors that I loved and 2-3 colors that I was like, I don't see them fitting with this project that I have right now. So it was hard to choose one set. In every set, there was a color that I was like, yes, this one would fit. This one would be so beautiful. The granulation, the color separation is amazing. But then it came with other colors that I wasn't such a fan of. So what I did instead of getting a set is that I got some individual tubes. I got 6 or 7 tubes, so I have maybe like 1 or 2 colors from each set, my favorite colors. There was one that I really liked that I don't think they sell individually, so I'm sad about it, but I'll get over it. So I'm so excited to try them. But they won't be here until sometime. I don't know when they're gonna arrive because they ship from the UK. and we're in Canada here, so... But now let's focus on the colors that we do have, and we will write down some interesting mixes that we could do. Sorry about the weird lighting. I have different lighting sources. I have the natural light, which is not that strong, and the light inside here, which gives this kind of yellow light. But I wanted to tell you that I got out my huge sheet of watercolors and I figured out some ways in which I could cut it with the least amount of... Well, I had two goals. I wanted to be able to create standard sizes, because if I ever sell the paintings that I'm going to create with this test, then I would prefer them to be standard sizes so people can find frames easily. And I also wanted to create as little waste as possible, if possible, zero waste at all. So I kind of did a couple of different options, and I ended up with this one. And in the last few days I showed you I was doing some tests, so I think you saw me start this page here, but I did a couple of other pages with some color options that I'm going to explore. So what I found is that I prefer when there's a light part and then a darker color. I think the contrast is better. But I discovered some very interesting color mixes that I'm going to use for sure. The sizes I was able to create are almost all standard sizes, so that means that they're gonna be easy to frame because there are lots of frames that fit these sizes. I only have two little pieces that were not standard sizes, and I chose to leave them as is because I didn't want any waste. These are the two papers that are not standard sizes. I taped them to this cardboard and I tried stretching this paper. My worry with this paper is that since it's quite thin, I was worried that it would buckle because I need to put a lot of water on my paper to create the effects that I want. So I tried stretching it with like just taping it and then adding some water. And it did buckle, but now it's flat again. But I'm kind of worried that it's gonna buckle again because I know this is not the best technique to stretch a paper. Unfortunately, I do not have the necessary equipment to stretch my paper properly. So I think that for this reason alone, this paper cannot be the paper that I'm gonna use for my huge painting. This needs to be confirmed. Still, I have cut a couple of sizes, so I'm gonna see how they behave under the water. Even though it's really good quality paper, I think it's too thin for the technique that I want to use. We'll see. I also taped this one, which is a 16 by 20 inches. It's a different kind of paper. It's the Fabriano Artistico 300 GSM watercolor paper. And this paper is really thick. Usually I don't even stretch it. I did it this time around because I knew I would put a lot of water on it, but honestly, I don't even think it was necessary. It did not even buckle a little bit. So if I can find maybe this type of paper, but bigger, maybe this could be the paper I use for my painting. We'll see. And this one is for a friend who asked me to make a painting for her in this style, so I'm going to do it today. So my paper's already starting to buckle. I think that's why we're seeing a bit of a pooling of colors. I'm not sure I'm very pleased with this, but I don't know what else I can do, to be honest. Okay, let's add some salt. Okay, let's start working on this big painting. It's the first time that I try this technique on a painting this big, so I'm kind of apprehensive and excited at the same time. And I remember what I did last time when I practiced compositions. The goal of the first layer in these paintings was to try to come up with an interesting composition. I forgot about it, and that's kind of what I did with these. As you saw, I put a lot of water and then I put the paint. But I remember that I did not do that. I only put water on top for my second layer. So I think this is what I'm gonna try. I'm going to start with a lighter wash anyways at first. My first time painting this big and it feels so weird. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let it dry and see what's next. Okay, now we have arrived at the part that is stressing me out a lot. This is dried, I removed the salt, and now will be the time to add more paint on top, add some ink, and add the plastic. And the reason I'm stressed out is because it's my first time painting something this big in this style. And this would be for a friend, so a commission, so I'm kind of scared of messing it up. But if I do mess up, I can just start over. It's okay, but I'm still stressed out. I want to fix the composition. I want to add more blue here. I want it to flow in this direction, I think. So I'm going to add some white and yellow here, some blue here, maybe a bit of blue up top here. Oh my God. Okay, so let's just start with adding some water on top and hope for the best, really. and gold. And now, let's let it flow. So you've seen me remove the plastic and I love the effects, so nice. So now we will take off this tape and I will contemplate whether I do some white lines on top of it or if that's enough. I'm not sure about the lines, to be honest, but we'll see. First thing first, this tape. Okay, so today is a very exciting day because I plan on finishing this painting right there. I only have the white lines to do, and now I have many different options for pens and pencils for that. So I'm gonna do a couple of tests beforehand, but I don't think it's gonna be too long. So I plan on finishing it. But before I work on this one, I want to finish this one that I started a couple of days ago. I let it dry. I put some salt on it and I took it off already. Because this one is going to need to dry for a couple of hours, I plan on working on it first. It won't take too long. And then while it dries, I'm gonna work on this one. I am going to finish it. Okay, so I finished my test. I've tested this charcoal white pen that I had for a long time. I forgot I had it. The lines it did on top of the watercolor were very white, so that was interesting. So I tested this one on this painting here, and what I found is that on top of this texture, it's very hard to do one full line. I had to go back on top of it multiple times, and the lines are thicker than what I'm used to. So I'm not very sure about this result. On this one, I did what I do usually, which is use the Sakura Jelly Roll pen. And yeah, I like this result much better. The lines are finer. It's easier to use. That's what I'm gonna go with. I also tested, where is it? This Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen in white, but to be honest, it's not opaque. So if you use this pen, if you know how to use it, please tell me what you do with it, because right now I can't think of any way of using it. One thing I discovered with this one, with the charcoal white, is that you can draw on top of the painting and then smudge the lines, and you can create like these white spots. I think there's one here. So I used it on this one too. I created one white spot here, another one here, and one here. So I think I'm gonna use these two. It's just I'm going to use this one in a way I did not intend, which is great. All right, so I finished the commission I was working on, the big painting, blue and gold, and I love it so much. I'm gonna show it to you. I put it in a frame that I had just to see what it would look like, and I love it so much. So I can't wait for it to be in its real home. Yeah, so I'm gonna show it to you. I love it in a frame that big with like the white sleeve around it. It looks so professional. So let's see some close up. I signed here. What I like about these paintings is that you can look at it for hours, I feel like, and always find something new, always see a new shape. I think there's a lot of depth in a painting like this, and like just at first glance it looks interesting, but then when you come closer you can really spend time analyzing it. I love it. Can't wait to do other paintings that big. Now we will finish the other painting you saw me work on just before this one, and I think it's gonna be it for this first part, because otherwise this video is gonna be too long. But for sure I will show you the rest of my quest of painting a huge painting. Well, I did not expect that. I feel like nothing happened. I think I'm gonna need to do more work on it if I want it to be pretty. Maybe if I add more white and this orange. So I'm not so sure about it, but I think that there's something to be done about this one. So I'm gonna leave it to dry for a couple of hours, maybe in a day or two. I'll work on it to try to finish it. So you will see this on the next video. Well, I hope you liked it. I hope that you feel very cozy and very relaxed. I'm so happy with the result of this big painting. I've learned many things in this video. I think I made some very important discoveries, such as doing a first layer where I can do a first draft kind of a composition. And also doing that gives me the opportunity to fix the composition if I need to. So I kind of have like, I don't have to stress about having it perfect from the first try. This is something I will for sure keep in this practice. I also found out that creating a big watercolor in this style is more stressful than creating a small one. There's more room for error, I feel like. But there's also more room to let the colors flow. So it turns out that I like the big watercolors a lot better than the small ones that I did. But they come with an added amount of pressure. But I think with practice, we can push through it. Yeah. So that's it for now. We will see you in next video. I want to say next week's video, but I'm not sure when I'll publish it. But stay tuned. In the meantime, if you like this video, please leave a like, please leave a comment. If you have any suggestions on what I could do to prevent my paper from warping that much, I think it can be helped, but maybe it can. Who knows? Just type it down in the comments. I'll be so happy to have any comments. And yeah, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.